The good news here is that according to many U.S. experts, this appears to be the bottom. There's a great saying that's true then is true now, is it's always darkest before the dawn. A lot of experts in the U.S. stock markets reacted to this today, that this may be the bottom. The next number to look for is continuing unemployment claims. That means people that have, the number of people that are continuing to re-up their unemployment benefits, meaning that they're not going back to work. So next week will be a big tell as America begins to reopen. Are we starting to climb our way out of the hole? Stock markets, as we all know, are leading indicators of the economy, and they tend to look 6 to 9 months down the road. So right now, the stock markets believe in a modest to fairly robust economic recovery, but the next couple of weeks, jobless numbers are going to be huge.
Interesting polling out of the United States in recent days as well. People seem to be more trusting of governors than they are of the president at the moment. Is that a true reflection of what's going on?
It's kind of mixed, Laura. You have different governors with different attitudes towards the lockdowns. You have some like in Florida, Georgia, and Colorado, both Republicans and Democrats, that are more eager to go back to work than you have California, New York, and Illinois that are more insisting on staying locked down. What you are seeing, however, and there's independent data that's not polling, people's cell phones are tracked movement, letters to the editor. There's a broad variety of metrics that, in many people's eyes, the economic costs of the lockdowns are beginning to outweigh their fears of the virus. And people look at polling numbers, which are essentially static. They're snapshots in time only, when in fact you got to look at the forces involved are dynamic. They're changing. As people realize that perhaps, we're not going to have millions of dead, but I am going to lose my job, I'm going to lose my business, I'm going to go hungry, not be able to feed my family, the relative weighting of necessity versus fear changes people's attitudes. And I think we're starting to see an inflection point there, certainly with protests everywhere from Southern California to Michigan.
Yeah, we've seen those here as well. Now, it hasn't escaped your attention, I'm sure, that an election is less than 6 months away. The United States has more infections than any country in the entire world. A vaccine is still months and months away. Is anyone turning their attention as to how this election might actually be run?
It certainly is changing it. You do have an election coming up in 6 months. Nothing gets by you. But right now, it looks like the Democrats are kind of the party of lockdown, of keeping people locked up. And the Republicans are becoming the party of, hey, let's deal with this, the coronavirus, let's do our social distancing, but it's time to go back to work. So those are two competing messages, and those could very well be the backdrop against which this election is fought. And then you superimpose which candidate is going to be tougher on China. That's also going to be a determinative factor. But coronavirus and China are going to be two of the biggest issues of this election cycle.